Walking for 12 minutes or so northwest from metro stop Ottaviano takes one into the quarter called La Vittoria. My destination was the restaurant Almato. The name is an acronym of the three partners' first names, Alberto, Manfredi, and Tommaso, the latter being Tommaso Venuti, the chef. A glass of Franciacorta Satin 61 from the noted firm Berlucchi, situated just south of the Lago di Seo, helped set the mood for the evening. I had immediately ordered the 7-course Degustazione, and the first amuse-bouche arrived right after the bubbly. In the middle, a little tin of salmon caviar with spoon and white bread triangle to go with it. At the front, on a white rectangular slab, a cracker with 5 dots of the African spice mix cachu. Next to it, a cone-shaped pasta brick with wasabi mayonnaise inside and a black sesame crown. And on the right, a ball of winter melon with a sprinkling of cardamom. In the back, an egg yolk gelée on a bed of straw. And my notes ended before the last item in its funnel-shaped cracker on the right. The focaccia was startlingly good, and made by the restaurant, obviously. The olive oil in the dark bowl at the back came from the province of Lecce. The appearance of the second wine, a ribolla gialla from Livio Felluga in Brazzano by Cormonts in Friuli, announced the imminent arrival of the starters. I'm a huge fan of ribolla gialla, and those made by Livio Felluga are absolutely outstanding. The first antipasto was not on the a la carte menu. Cauliflower in 3 consistencies. There were thin individual blades of burnt cauliflower, front, back, and on top. In between them, a single floret cooked in hazelnut butter, and all of these basked in a cauliflower puree. A kefir-flavored sauce was also part of the mix. Our second starter was amberjack with a salsa huancaína, toasted corn, and spiced popcorn. A leaf of mizuna was on top, as well as a wedge of red onion in a sweet and sour marinade enhanced with chili and piment d'Espelette. The key ingredient in this salsa huancaína, as far as I could make out, is the yellow Peruvian pepper ají amarillo, along with a few other elements giving it its creamy texture. And the inspiration for it, I'm guessing, can be traced to the chef's Brazilian grandmother. The other grandmother is Italian. For the last starter, sweetbreads. This was the 3rd night in a row where I was having sweetbreads, a frequency record which is unlikely to be broken anytime soon, much as I love sweetbreads. This time, the sweetbreads were accompanied by a salsa tonata, which we're more typically used to seeing with thinly sliced cold veal. The other items on the plate are small drops of a cider gelée, as well as both fried capers and caper powder. When it came to sweetbreads, I was certainly well served in my 3 Roman dinners where they featured. A Sauvignon Blanc, again from Friuli, just southwest of Gorizia, this time from Yerman for the 2 primi. Ravioli were up first. These were stuffed with prunes and sweet potatoes. The sauce striping the ravioli was a foam of gazpacho flavored with fresh plums. Decoration on top was provided by baby chard leaves and sweet potato chips. After the orange-colored ravioli, green dominated the spaghetti. These were served with colatura di alici, the famed Sicilian fermented anchovy sauce. The green was provided by a broccoli cream, as well as deep-fried kale leaves on top. The combination of anchovies, broccoli, and kale was one I thought worked very well. Both primi were delightfully original. To go with the secondo, a Merlot from Lazio, made by the Cottarella winery. This was a very substantial Merlot, with an alcohol content of 14.75%. The secondo was rich and intense, and merited the hefty red. As in my previous night's dinner, the secondo again featured beef, this time bavetta, or flank steak. The incredibly dark sauce around the beef was a reduction of the stock it had cooked in. Delicious as that was, my focus was more on what accompanied the beef. This was diced fermented pumpkin in a pumpkin foam with a chartreuse-enhanced gelée. The server was used to my asking detailed questions, so I was informed before I could ask this time that the green cap on the flank steak was a nasturtium leaf. I definitely had to ask a few follow-up questions concerning the pre-dessert, which I was told was a gelatina orzata, meaning a gelatin with the syrup orzata, and that is usually flavored with almond extract, vanilla, and orange blossom water. The liquid around and pooling on it came from red bush tea, ginger, and black and pink peppercorns. Chocolate and banana was what the actual dessert was called. Inasmuch as my notes and my palate memories are to be trusted, there was a kind of banana cake on the left at the bottom and chocolate ice cream on top of that. There were 2 slices of plantain chips demarking this, and on the right was a quenelle of coffee gelato. I remember for sure that there was star anise in there too, but I'm not sure exactly where it was included. And I've forgotten what the crinkly darker brown bits between the 2 plantain chips were. Sorry. While the yellow and brown colors possibly look a bit monochromatic, the flavor was anything but bland. We wrapped up with 3 post-desserts. From left top to right bottom, an apricot-flavored fruit jelly, a Campari-soaked raspberry, and a biscotto whose flavors I didn't notate, but which I remember being fluffy and pleasantly chewy at the same time. Just as I had finished the last of these, Chef Tommaso Venuti came out of the kitchen to say hello and chat for a bit. A very relaxed and agreeable ending to an equally enjoyable evening at Almatò.